That's
I
great.
can wait.
So hi, I'm so happy to have everybody here in this on this beautiful day. My name's Joellen Wilhoit, and I am the director of corporate and annual giving at the Nest Center for Women, Children, and Families. And I'm also a traditionally published author of an interactive safety book called Safety Safari. And I've been reading my book to schools. And through associations, I met Nora, and Nora and I decided that our two programs made a lot of sense to come together and collaborate. And I think we have something pretty special in our program. I'll let Nora introduce herself.
Sure. So I'm Nora Vedlin. I'm a board certified music therapist and the director of Wildwood Music Therapy. Yeah, I'm super excited about this collaboration. I think it's a really unique combination of tools for kiddos. And so Joellen's going to start today and talk about her stuff, and then I'll jump in, and then we'll talk about kind of what it looks like all put together.
Yes, so this is what we're going to go over today, just to kind of give you an outline, and we'll demonstrate a little bit of what our program entails. But you can go ahead to the next one, Nora. And basically, our program is music supported safety lessons, and it offers multiple means of engagement. So it engages all of the senses, and we know that kids learn differently. So I think this is a wonderful approach to learning safety, which is really an important topic right now for our kids. So, Safety Safari, to give you an overview, it's kid friendly. So, it introduces scary topics, unsettling topics, but in a kid friendly way, which makes it very unique to other resources that I've seen. It's also comprehensive, it covers everything I could think of. I actually wrote this book when my son was little. I was a little bit of a neurotic mom, and I wanted to make sure to keep him safe. And I made a list of everything I wanted him to know. And so it really does encompass everything. It's captivating. It's interactive. I have a question at the end of every safety tip to gauge the child's understanding of that, and it also becomes a lesson plan for teachers so they can further engage. There's safety animals, there's safari animals that teach the safety lessons as well, and most people love animals. And it also I think is a vital role in prevention. Prevention is a lot more cost effective than cleaning up something that happens. A tragedy is a lot more expensive, and so I think that we've got a really good tool for prevention to hopefully stop situations before they happen. So this book is a safety resource not only for children but for caregivers and educators. It helps people broach the subject of safety and introduce sensitive topics. It also is something that can be revisited because I think that safety has to be reiterated for children to really get it in their minds. And they only have a couple minutes to react sometimes to ambiguous situations, and we want them to be prepared. So my goal with Safety Safari is to help children evaluate and respond to ambiguous situations and learn who to turn to and where to find help. We also want to empower children, provide them guidance and support, and caregivers and educators guidance and support. And this also helps people learn to read. Kids learn to read, and they're they're reading something that is really pertinent to their everyday. But this engages writing, communication, reading, and it also can save us a kid's life. I've had a couple kids after I've read this book to schools There have been a couple kids that have come up to me after the class to tell me some things that are going on in their families. So it's really sometimes it's a little shocking, but it's good that they feel open enough to share. So some of the literacy statistics, and I'm sure that you guys know a lot more about this than this one slide, but kids that count, or I mean, I'm sorry, that read are more likely to count to 20 or higher than those who are not. They're more likely to write their own names, and they can read or pretend to read 77% of the time out of 57% of the time. I'm sorry, you guys, my allergies are so bad today. I apologize. Um, the most successful way to improve reading achievement of low income children in particular is to increase their access to print. And working at the Nest, I've seen firsthand a real need for resources. And we have kids that are 5 and younger. So I think that really getting to vulnerable populations is important. All kids are important. Um, and students who don't read proficiently by 3rd grade are 4 times more likely to drop out of school. Safety is really important. These statistics are pretty alarming. 75 to 90% of tragedies could be avoided through better safety awareness and prevention, and helping people make sound judgments when coping with everyday uncertainties is a really important skill. And I think it's something that gets overlooked at times until there is a tragedy that's happened.
Okay, thanks, Joellen. I'm going to take over and talk a little bit about the music therapy piece now. So, as I said before, my name's Nora. I'm the director of Wildwood Music Therapy. We are a private practice who provides music therapy and adaptive lessons in our studio and out in the community. We work with all ages. Some of you all might be familiar with music therapy because there are some businesses that work in the schools. So in the school setting, mostly music therapists are working on IEP goals and collaborating with everybody on that team. And so my goal here is to serve a similar role. I want collaborating with Joellen, collaborating with you all. But the goals here are these safety lesson goals. So the basic definition of music therapy is it's a clinical and evidence-based practice that uses individualized music experiences to address specific non-musical goals within a therapeutic relationship with a board-certified music therapist. And just to highlight the non-musical goals, in music therapy, you might kind of learn some musical skills, but that's not the point. The point is those non-musical goals. It could be socialization, it could be your academic goals, it could be memory. It just depends on who we're working with. And so in this case, my overarching goal is to support and enhance the lessons of the safety safari that Joellen has already mentioned. So as a music therapist, the ways that I felt I could best do this is these two main things: improving retention of the safety lessons in the Safety Safari program and increasing accessibility of the content to diverse learners. So deepening the learning and also widening who is able to access the content. And these are kind of my um, principles, kind of music therapy principles and underpinnings to achieve those two goals. Universal design principles, the fact that music therapy improves attention, that it improves mood, motivation, and endurance, and musical mnemonics. So just to sort of talk through some of those, in the music therapy part of Safety Symphony, I'm hoping to add these tactile and kinesthetic opportunities to something that's already auditory and visual. I'm also providing Another type of auditory stimulus through music, which sometimes can cut through to kids in a different way. It recruits more of the brain than just spoken word. And for some kids, music kind of opens doors, um, new doors that other types of things don't. Um, in addition, with the multiple entry points for engagement, there it's going to be really easy to engage. Almost anybody can shake a shaker, can listen to a song. There's just a lot of different ways that kids who are really cognitively advanced are going to be able to participate, and also kids that might have trouble keeping up will still have a lot of ways to engage and be involved. I'll just read this here from this study that when linked with non-musical information, music adds structure and organization, emotion, and appeal to the information in order to increase the probability that attention will be focused and maintained. So that's going to be important for kids who have trouble maintaining their focus, or kids that learn the content really quickly and then lose interest or um, switch their attention to something else because they think they already understand it, or they already kind of understand. The music can kind of bring them back in. There's something else that they can attend to. Um, and then mood, motivation, and endurance. Music elevates your mood. It triggers dopamine in the brain, and we know that folks learn better when they're in a good mood. They're more open to ideas, and improved motivation, because like Joellen said, you need repetition, and sometimes that can be hard. So any way we can motivate and decrease the feeling um, of that kind of dragging, any way we can improve endurance for repeating these important skills and safety lessons are going to contribute to their learning. And finally, musical mnemonics. So you probably understand that already because of like the ABC song. It's easier often to learn information through music than just spoken. Um, and you'll see that when we do a little demonstration here later. Um, so how that actually looks in the safety symphony is um, musical structure and cueing for when things are beginning, ending, and transitions in between, which is especially important for a lot of our kids. Um, Again, those recurring and repetitive prompts that help reinforce memory. I've written songs that specifically address the goals in the safety safari lessons. When the music therapist is there, we'll be guiding group activities that introduce those kinesthetic and tactile learning opportunities. And then as needed, music techniques for regulation, kind of in the moment, um, to if any kind of behaviors or things pop up. Our audience for this is preschool to fourth grade kids, but also, as we mentioned, as a resource for educators and caregivers. And so we want to give you a little bit of a demo. A lot of the things that I mentioned with the music won't work over Zoom. So we'll just give you a little snippet of it. But I'll turn it over to Joellen.
Sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read. I don't know if you guys can see. This is a page, 2 pages in my book. That may be a little bit hard to see, but we'll do a couple of these just so you get an idea. It says, look around you, keep your eyes open wide, listen to what is happening around you with big ears, lead by taking action to stay safe. Look, listen, and lead to be a safety star.
All right. All right, I'm gonna sing our song, and you can leave your mics off, but if y'all want to join in, there is a part where you can sing along here. Let's see, I might Joellen, did I jump in too soon? Were you ready for me?
No, oh
Okay.
no, you're perfect.
Today I am a safety star. We're taking a safety safari to keep myself safe. You see, I look, listen, and lead. Look, listen, and lead, your turn.
Look, listen, and lead.
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 When I'm feeling scared or I'm alone, when people talk to me that I don't know, if I'm uncomfortable or someone's hurt, I look, listen, and lead. Look, listen, and lead, your turn.
Look, listen, and lead.
Look, listen, and lead, now whisper.
Look, listen, and
Look, listen, and lead.
look, listen, and
Look, listen, and lead. Look all around, what do you see? Listen, what do you hear? Now take action, what can you do? Look, listen, and lead. Today I am a safety star, we're taking a safety safari to keep myself safe, you see. I look, listen, and lead. Look, listen,
and lead.
look, listen,
And lead.
Yay! That was great, Nora. So I'm going to switch gears now to internet safety because that is a really big topic. So I will read this. Internet safety. While using the internet, the computer, or another electronic device, never give out identifying or personal information, such as your address or phone number, the name or location of your school, your parents' work address or telephone number, pictures of yourself, because sometimes a person might try to trick you on the internet by pretending to be your age when they aren't. If someone sends you a message that makes you feel uncomfortable or they invite you to meet them, tell your parents or a trusted adult. Never respond to these messages. So I've got a look, listen, and lead after every safety tip. And this one is someone contacts you on the internet and says they go to your school, but you don't know them. They ask you for your phone number and where you live. What should you do? And then the kids would give their response and it becomes a discussion point.
So then I also have another song to kind of re-emphasize the lessons Joellen just mentioned and what they'll talk about. This is another interactive one if you'd like to. Phone rings, someone's calling. They say they know me, but I don't know them. They want to know where I live. Should I tell them? No, don't respond. Tell someone you trust. Bloop, bloop. Someone sent me a snap. I see their picture. I don't know who they are. They say I should send a picture back. Should I send one? No, don't respond. Tell someone you trust. A new follower on TikTok. I've never seen them. They don't know me in real life. They want to follow, but I feel a little icky. Should I follow them back? No, don't respond. Tell someone you trust. Don't respond. Tell someone you trust.
Yay! I have to clap every time you do that.
I like it.
It's wonderful. So we can't go through, of course, the whole book with you and all of the interactives, but they're so fun. I get excited as an adult, so I can only imagine the children. But I also wanted to let you know that in my book, I've got several other layers of information. So I've got a checklist if your child should go missing, and there's a place to put local phone numbers, doctors, the police department number. This becomes a resource for a babysitter. Basically, it's got everything you need in one place. And I've also got a place where you can obtain your fingerprints and put them in the book. And then an educational layer that I wanted to include because I love animals, and most of these are safari animals that kids don't interact with, they don't have access to, is I created a Meet the Animals section at the very end of the book. So I tell a little bit about every single animal that appears in this book and what page you can find that animal on. So this is a really fun element. I learned a whole lot about animals. And so that is about, I guess, all we can get into with this book today. But I'm happy to send, I've got a copy. I can send a PDF of this book so that people can see what it involves and all of the safety lessons. I'm happy to share. And I think, Nora, the next slide, what we're hoping with all of this, the skills gained, we want children to stay safe and, be safety aware, learn how to navigate certain various situations. We want to encourage dialogue between caregivers, educators, and children about safety. We want to promote critical thinking, reading, writing, and communication, and also develop greater language comprehension, larger vocabularies, and cognitive skills. And this is maybe a little bit involved. It's a big paragraph, but this is our overall hopes of what we hope to achieve and what our purpose is. We really want to nurture creativity, emotional resilience, and self-awareness in all of these children as they're navigating a very overstimulated world. And I looked through the Kentucky Department of Education standards, and we've written some things here that connect with those standards. There might be some more, but these hit a lot of different areas. I think this one program, Safety Safari, really encompasses a lot of the standards that the schools are looking to provide.
I'll additionally point out that some of our future goals, in addition to this program, are creating facilitator manuals for educators, additional parent resources, and we'd love to also make a Spanish translation of this at some point.
So I think that this is a very unique and special program activity to engage children, and it is a holistic approach to development because it combines so many disciplines. Kids are able to develop important life skills, including safety education, critical thinking, and problem solving, and it makes learning fun and provides children tools for success. So at the end here, we've got a breakdown of packages, and we're always open to customizing. Any questions that you have, feel free to reach out to us. We love working with educators and children, and our main goal is just to get in front of a bunch of kids. Well, adults too, but the kids are really fun, and it really does fill me back up every time I leave a group of children. It just makes me so happy. It makes my day. I will say too, with my book, kids also get a bookmark and they get a sticker that says they're a safety star. So after we read the book, they put their safety star on. And then I have activity sheets as well to kind of reiterate the program.
And then the music part, will, in addition to those sheets, lyric sheets, and then a QR code. And I'm still kind of figuring that out, but we want the kids to have access to the songs so they can listen to them again and kind of get those ingrained as well.
So I think we might have time for questions. I don't know how we would do that, but if anybody wants to ask a question.
Yeah, feel free to come off mute or type them in the chat. Any questions you might have. And Joellen and Nora, if there's follow-up information or a PDF of your slide deck that you would like for me to share, if you want to email it to me, I can send that to
Yes.
everyone too.
We absolutely will do that.
I have a question. So are you a Fayette County Public School vendor?
Yes.
Are they?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
actually a contractor, which is even better.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, and yeah, we've got clearance to come into the schools.
Mhm, mhm. And you will work with a small, even though you say you prefer like a big group, but if we have a handful, I don't know, we have some kids that have lost parents lately and they're grieving. Is there something in your program for that specific area or no?
Not for that specific grieving, but I don't think it could hurt
Yeah.
to, provide some reassurance,
Uh-huh.
because this does give reassurance in another way. And I
Mhm.
think overall, when you empower children, it helps with all areas
Mhm.
of their life. Nora and I, we've discussed the class sizes, and it could get a little bit trickier when we get really big groups of people, because it loses some of its personal touch. So ideally, 20, 25-ish, 30 maybe kids is ideal, just because we can really interact with all of those
Okay.
children.
Better.
But we've discussed customizing. If we were to get in front of a larger group, like an auditorium, we would probably have to modify some things, but it can be done.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, hey
So,
Nora, can you show our info on the screen again? I had somebody requesting our info.
Second grade.
Let's see. Sorry. Let
I
me.
just threw you a
Let me get it
curveball.
up. Here we go. We'll go all the way to the end.
Mhm.
Did you want this is our contact information? Or if you want let me know if you want the package information.
That too. Yeah, that would be good.
I think if we send the package and also the book to Rainey, would you be able to distribute
Yes.
it to everybody?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Because we'll do that.
I'll leave that up for a second and then I'll switch it over. And not to break from the safety symphony thing too, but additionally, Carmen, if you're that could be a different sort of program, like grief kind of stuff too, in addition for music therapy. We have a music therapist who has worked in kind of grief areas. So if that's something you're particularly interested in,
Okay.
but I definitely think these skills too, again, provide some more reassurance that feeling like you have some additional strength even on your own could be beneficial.
Thank you.
Sure.
So it will work like we will have to create a contract, right? To get you any
That would
of
be
you.
correct. Yes.
Yeah, okay, good to know.
Yes, feel free to email us if you have any questions, if you think of anything. Nora and I are really open to anything you have in mind. You are the educators. You're in this every day. So you may have some insights as well that could help us. So we want it to be very collaborative.
Okay.
I guess I'll ask, I mean, because we could I've created contracts, but with the schools, does Rainy, it needs to be like a specific thing coming from you,
Yeah,
Okay.
well, coming from the coordinator
from
through,
the coordinator, yeah.
I believe second grade is out on the playground, Mr. Roberts. Do you think you just send the kid out to get someone?
all right, well, thank you all so much. If you'll send
Thank
me the
you.
follow-up, information, I'll share it with everyone else.
Awesome.
We appreciate your time so much. Thank you for
Absolutely.
letting us sit with you. And I appreciate Nora singing because now that'll take me through the rest of the day.
Yes, yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna-
Thank y'all so much.
I'm gonna draw a name for a door prize before we go. And Joannie, I will send that your way. Congrats. All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.